Welcome again to Anointing Oil Dynamics. Today I want to share quickly on what I call an end-time evangelism cycle. God's evangelistic pattern in the timeline of man. Now, as I review scripture from Genesis to Revelation, I can find 10 major components of the plan to reach soul and to be an evangelist throughout the earth. The first one is found in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 2, where God himself is trying to reach out and reach the creation. And then from Genesis chapter 3 to chapter 5, the second leg of this is done from Adam to the days of Enoch. Of course, we know that Enoch is raptured, which is 7 generations from the time of Adam. The third leg of evangelism outreach you will find in the days of Noah in Genesis chapter 6 all the way to Genesis chapter 10. Noah warns the people of a coming judgment and provides an opportunity for persons to be saved. The fourth leg stretches over a longer period of time, and this has to do with the patriarchs. 4 major characters are involved in this patriarch. We have Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, which is Israel, and then later Joseph. This flows from Genesis chapter 11 all the way to Genesis chapter 15. The fifth leg now swings from individuals, and of course with Abraham being the father of the Jewish nation and Jewish nation being established, we now see the fifth leg being the nation of Israel, which takes up most of the Old Testament all the way into the New, running from Exodus chapter 1 all the way down to Acts chapter 1. The sixth leg is the one that we are in right now, which is about to close, and that is the church, running from Acts chapter 2 all the way to Revelation chapter 3, where the last letter to the last church being the Laodicea church, or the mixing church, where Jesus is now on the outside knocking to get back in. This is going to close with the rapture of the church in the very near future, because we know Revelation chapter 4 and verse 1 tells us to come up hither in order for us to see the hereafter. In Revelation 3 and verse 10, we are told to ensure that we hold fast to the things that we have, lest any man take our crown. Beginning the first half of the tribulation period, which is the first 3.5 years, in the beginning of the tribulation, the evangelistic outreach moves to leg 7, and this is going to be 144 Jewish evangelists that is going to go forth during that 1,260 days, which we find in Revelation chapter 7 and Revelation chapter 11 and Revelation chapter 14, but really spanning the period of Revelation 7 all the way to 14. When the Antichrist enters the Holy of Holies and performs the abomination of desolation, with the death of the 2 Jewish evangelists and the rise of those 2 individuals to heaven, which is a mid-tribulation rapture, we now have the 3 angels released from heaven to go forth and do evangelism in the latter half of the tribulation period, which is going to be the time of the vial judgment, which is Revelation chapter 15 all the way to chapter 19. Christ will return in Revelation 19, set up a millennium kingdom, and we now have the millennium time or day of the Lord with Christ on the earth, which is leg number 9, where we now have evangelism going forth to the new world, and a world that is going to be running for 1,000 years, which will close with a fire battle and the white throne judgment at the end of Revelation 19 and the end of Revelation 20. Then in Revelation 21 and 22, we see God himself now comes and tabernacle himself with mankind, and we see the new heaven and the new earth, where God himself is once again reaching and encountering man. 10 major cycles from Genesis to Revelation, from eternity to eternity, in terms of the time, the end time evangelistic cycle that is available throughout the scriptures. Thank you for joining us today at Anointing Oil Dynamics. Feel free to visit us at www.anointingoildynamics.endtimestudies.com.